Okay. Okay, Anas. Good afternoon, students. Today we shall discuss CSE 2023 paper 2 as in CSAT. uh, so first impressions, paper was quite lengthy and difficult. I think in past few years UPSC has been increasing difficulty of CSAT uh, consecutively, and this year they have gone on with the same pattern. So this year's paper was much tougher compared to last year. Uh, at least numeric quant and LR section was a bit tougher. Passages were much similar to 2021. So in that respect, this was good idea was to attempt passages and then balance it with some maths and LR. But anyway, let us see the answers. Some of the questions were difficult, so I'll try to explain, and I'll also try to explain what would have been the best method to go about it. The paper clearly is highly dominated by arithmetic and permutations and combinations chapters, which we have actually studied for 10 lectures out of our 40 lecture classroom program. But still, it was difficult even for those who have done the course, because it required application of all those concepts. We have studied all those concepts in class, but you still had to apply those concepts inside the examination hall in the limited time frame. So I'll discuss about possible ways that you can study prelims in future, and possible ways or possible strategies that you can go about in paper. Anyway, let us start. Let us start with passages. Passages, question number 1. As soon as you see the passage, just go ahead and read the question. What is the demand of the question? Question asks, which one of the action reflects most rational, practical and immediate action? This is the keyword. UPSC has clearly specified they are asking you for immediate action. So if some of the options gives you long-term plan, that is not an immediate action. We want problem to be resolved immediately. That is the UPSC's concern. Now let us go back and read the passage. We often hear about conflict among different states in India or water. That we all know, water disputes are very common. Of the 20 major rivers, 14 are already water stressed. So rest are not water stressed. 75% of the population lives in water stressed region. Okay. Third of whom live in water scarce areas. This is all description of the situation. Here author has not said anything, given his opinion or anything. This is just description of the situation. Climate change, then comes the next topic of his discussion, the climate change. Climate change demands rising population and the need for agriculture to keep pace, and increased rate of urbanization and industrialization will exacerbate the water stress. The author is saying that climate change combined with industrialization and urbanization will require more and more water, obviously. According to the Constitution of India, water is a state subject. That we all know from polity, except interstate regulation of interstate rivers. That also we know from our polity. Key to ensure balance between competing demand of various stakeholders is the basin-based approach to allocate water amongst constituent regions and states. So basically, author is talking about allocation of water as the things stand today. Okay, that is the need of the hour. That is what author is saying. Allocating fair share of water requires assessment. Now, what does that allocation, fair allocation requires? So it requires fair assessment and data, objective criteria, specifications of river basin dependent on population, and he has given the criteria about efficiency, demand, etc., etc. So I think everybody understood the passage. What is passage trying to convey? More often than not, the passage will begin with description of the situation, and towards the end opinion of author will come. Let us see now options. The question asks, what is the immediate action that you can take? First, national policy framework for water allocation should be made. Now, making of a national framework or a policy for allocation, would that solve the problem in immediate action? Is that an immediate action, just making the framework? It may not be. Let us look at the other option. If other options are very wrong, then it could be right. Second, all river system of the country should be linked and huge aquifers should be made. Firstly, we know that all is an indication, ये नहीं हो सकता. And secondly, can we really link all the rivers in immediate time frame? We cannot. It requires huge investment and huge amount of time. Third, water channel between the regions of water surplus and regions of water deficit should be created. Now, author has given the situation. He has said that there are some regions which are water surplus, there are some regions which are water deficit. So, if we could collect those regions, then it could be a solution. Yes, and it could be an immediate solution. We don't require, for creating channels, it won't take like 5 years, 10 years. You can create channel within few months. And last, water demand sectors should be reduced. Industry and agriculture. We cannot reduce agriculture or industry. We need them. So this is clearly wrong. This is clearly wrong. This and this were the competing options. But creating a national framework is not immediate solution, immediate action to ensure fair and equitable action. So that is why answer here is C. We are just beginning. That is why we are going a bit slow. We'll pick up the pace once we start. Let's go to next question. Let us first read the question. Question is, what is implied by the passage? Which of the following statement reflects what is best implied by the passage? Implication of the passage. Whatever passage is said, उससे हमें क्या पता चलता है? Implication. Now let us see. More than half of Indian women and almost quarter of Indian men of working age suffer from anemia. Firstly, the question is about anemia. In GS1 also there was question on anemia. Here also there is description of this condition, anemia. And according to studies, this percentage is less productive than they could be as a result thereof. Anemia होता है तो productivity घटता है. India also has the highest TB burden. Again, description of the situation. अभी तक author ने कुछ opinion दिया नहीं दिया. He is just saying that anemia से productivity घटता है. Now he is saying TB burden बहुत ज़्यादा है and उससे भी बहुत work days loss होते हैं. TB also results in losing work days. Okay, it is becoming increasingly clear that on many measures of the cognitive ability, malnourishment, Indian children perform worse than their adequately nourished peers. Of course, जो malnourished है वो worse perform करेगा. We know that. अभी तक हमें नई कोई information नहीं मिली है. For an economy that will be more dependent on highly skilled workers, this poses significant challenge, and it is one that really should be addressed given the India's demographic outlook. Last statement में जाके author कुछ अपना opinion बताता है कि यार ऐसा situation है, this is very bad situation. If we want highly skilled workers, this situation needs to be addressed. That is the author's submission. Very simple passage, nothing complicated about it, nothing that you don't know. And you will see this. Passages were quite simple. If you could have attempted all the passages, there was high probability that you would have gotten at least like 15 to 20 of them right, because they were easy. Now let us read at the let us read options. We are looking for implication. Education system must be strengthened in rural areas. Okay, fine. Skilling के लिए education चाहिए रहता है, but the passage was more about anemia, TB. So education may not be, and बस rural area बोला है. That is also second thing. Next option, large scale and effective implementation of skill development is need of the hour. Is the passage about skill development? No, it is about healthcare. It is talking about anemia and TB, right? For economic development, health and nutrition of only skilled workers need special attention. Obviously, that is wrong. Only skilled workers क्यों? बाकियों ने क्या बिगाड़ा है? Mainly, the author is saying the children who are malnourished will perform worse. They will become futures workers, na skilled workers. And last, for rapid economic growth, as envisaged by us, attention should be paid to nutrition of the people. Of course, that is the right answer. Very simple. Second का D. Okay, आगे बढ़े. जहां पे भी आपको डाउट आता है, you can stop me and you can ask. Third passage. Let us first go ahead and read the questions so that we know what to look for. Which one of the following statement best reflects most logical rational message conveyed by the author? Now, whatever author is writing, he is writing it to convey some message. And typically the message will come in the later half of the passage. Typically. Let us see now. We want to look for most logical message. In India, majority of farmers are marginal and small, less educated, and possess low adaptive capabilities to climate change, perhaps because of credit and other constraints. So firstly, author is stating the situation that most of our farmers are medium and micro and medium farmers, and they don't have economic wherewithal to really go for adaptation of themselves. So one cannot expect autonomous adaptation to climate change. Autonomous मतलब खुद से. We cannot expect them कि वो खुद से ही अपना adaptation कर लेंगे. They will need external help. And external help of whom? The government, obviously. Even if it was possible, it would not be sufficient to offset the loss from climate change. अगर वो थोड़ा कर भी सकते अपने आप को adapt, तो पूरा नहीं कर पाएंगे. It would not be sufficient. To deal with this, adaptation to climate change is paramount. Adaptation is paramount, definitely. Whenever we talk about climate change, we always talk about mitigation and adaptation. In all the COPs, there is always two discussions. There is one on mitigation which dominates, but over the last 2-3 COPs, we are seeing adaptation being given increasingly more weightage because climate change to hoga. So we have to ensure that people are adapting to it. So adaptation is paramount. That is something we know. But here, now let us look at this. This is keyword here. Another solution. So author is clearly saying that there are many solutions. There could be many solutions, but another solution is to have planned or policy-driven adaptation, which would require the government to come up with policy recommendation. Now the author is saying one of the fast reading के tips. Fast reading के लिए there is no shortcut. You will have to start reading from today. Start reading anything. Start reading books, novels, newspapers, anything you can. Just start reading, and as soon as you will get acquainted with more and more vocabulary, you can get your reading speed improved. It will be a process. You will see improvement over 5-6 months, not in 1 or 2 days. Just stick to the process and keep reading and keep reading. You can read, if your, let us say, optional is history, you can read history books. That is not an issue. Just ensure that you are reading English every day. Or if you are a Hindi medium student, read Hindi every day. That is the thing. Okay, another solution. So basically one solution that was discussed कि farmer खुद से adapt करे. Another solution, government उनके लिए policy लिया है. Now, here, perception is necessary prerequisite. Perception is necessary prerequisite for adaptation. बहुत strong condition डाला है author ने. Author ने बोला necessary and prerequisite. दोनों भी बोला है. So there is just no way that you can adapt if farmers are not perceiving that this is a threat. Farmer को लगना चाहिए. Farmer needs to perceive that climate change is a threat. That is necessary and that is prerequisite for adaptation. Whether farmers are adapting agriculture practices to climate change depends on whether they perceive it or not. That is what we are saying. Perception is the prerequisite. If they don't perceive it as a threat, they just won't adapt, whatever the government might do. However, this is not always enough for adaptation. It is important to know how a farmer perceives the risk. Of course, it is not enough. It is prerequisite, but it is not enough that farmer को बस पता है. We also need to know to how much extent does farmer realize this. The passage थोड़ा सा difficult side में था क्योंकि the second part of the passage is where the crux lies, and here main thing to look for is wording. Here the wording is much tough. He is saying necessary, he is saying prerequisite, he is not saying but it is not enough. So author uses very strong language in the second paragraph, and anyway we know message would be somewhere in the end. Passage author will start with some information, he'll establish the situation, and then he'll give message or recommendation or whatever his comments may be. Now let us read the options. Adaptation to climate change and mitigation response are basically the responsibilities of government. In the first part of the passage, author did say that farmers on their own may not able to adapt. That was the beginning of the passage. So this is not completely wrong, but let us read the other options. Climate change causes a change in government policies regarding land use patterns. अब land use pattern के बारे में कुछ बोला है? Nothing about land use pattern is being said. Since, and D option देखिए, since mitigation is not possible, government should come up with policies for quick response to climate change. Here he is saying mitigation is not possible. ऐसा थोड़ी है भाई, mitigation भी कर रहे हैं, adaptation भी कर रहे हैं, both things are being done. So this is wrong. Now to read the third thing. So risk perception of the farmer are important for motivating them to taking adaptation decision. The second half of the passage, where the author uses strongest language, he makes it necessary and prerequisite condition, is the message that he wants to give. This was indicated in the first half, and that too as another solution and not as the only solution. So answer here is C. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll move on to permutation combination question. We have done this kind of question in class, but again, you have to remember that, and you have to do it inside the examination hall. Fine. Then let us go ahead with next question. Now let us look at this. Raj has 10 pair of red socks, 9 pair of white socks, and 8 pair of black shoes. Okay, socks no, shoes. So 10 red, 9 pairs of white, and 8 pair of black. If he randomly picks one shoe after one by one shoe without replacement matlab he is just picking it, taking out, picking up, taking out, picking up, taking out, and he is doing one by one. So this 10 pairs, so there are 20 red shoes, here there are 18 white shoes and 16 black shoes. Pairs है क्योंकि वो हर में 2 है. And now question is, from the box to get red pair of shoes to wear. अब उसको red pair चाहिए, मतलब लाल के दोनों भी बाहर आने चाहिए. What is the maximum attempts he has to make? Now just think about it logically. Maximum मतलब क्या होगा? घटिया से घटिया, the worst luck. Let us say he has the worst luck, and वो निकालता रहता है, but red आता ही नहीं. That is the worst situation. He wants red to come out, but red out आ ही नहीं रहा. Red is still inside. He is just not getting red. That is the worst case scenario. That is the maximum possible extent he has to go. कि जब तक बाकी सब खत्म नहीं होता तब तक मैं red निकालता ही रहूं. That is the worst case scenario. तो सारे white आ गए पहले. व्हाइट सारे आ गए तो 18 अटेम्प्ट हो गए. सारे ब्लैक आ गए उसके बाद तो 16 अटेम्प्ट हो गए. अब इन दोनों के मिला के कितने हुए? 34 हो गए. 34 अटेम्प्ट ले लिए उसने. एंड नाउ अब उसको 2 रेड चाहिए. अब रेड ही बचे अंदर, तो कोई भी 2 उठाएगा तो यहाँ पे वो लेफ्ट राइट वाला कंसेप्ट नहीं है, कॉम्प्लेक्स मत करना. तो 2 इसको उठाना है, तो 2 ऐड करो और यू गेट 36. So 36 is the answer here. हमने ये किया है क्लास में, बहुत बार किया है. So it was simple question comparatively. Now this question, in how many ways can a batsman score exactly 25 runs by scoring single run, 4s and 6s only, irrespective of sequence of scoring shots? Now here there is no trick, you just have to count manually, but count methodically. If you can count methodically, this question was doable. It was not very easy, it was time consuming, lengthy, but still doable. Okay, now let me quickly go through solutions. Maybe this is becoming a little bit lengthy for you. We can discuss it at some other time with those those who are interested. Let me tell you how you could have gone about it and tell you the solution. Now you can start with counting 6s. You can give maximum 6s. Maximum 6s कितने हो सकते हैं? 6, 6, 6, 6 and then single. That is the only case. यहाँ पे 4 नहीं आएगा. Then you give 3 6s. 18 हो गए, 18 are done, and then Yes, I'll go a little bit faster. I'll not tell you the detailed solutions. I'll tell you the outline of the solution. You can figure it out on your own. If you can't, you can ask me in the comment section, then I'll discuss. 3 sixes and rest are 4s or 1s. Now let's give 3 sixes and maximum 4s. How many 4s maximum you can give? You can give 4, only once, because 18 plus 4 22, 22 से एक और 4 दोगे तो 26 चला जाएगा, and rest of them 1. Still keep 6 6 6, and now here it is 1 4. Now give 0 4, so rest of them all 1. This is the another case. Now instead of 3 sixes, give 2 6 and maximum 4s. How many maximum 4s you can give? 4 4 4 and then 1. And similarly, like this, here 3 4s, then you can have 2 4s and rest of 1. Then you can have 1 4 and rest are 1, and you can have 0 and rest are 1. So 3 2 1 0. So 4 cases like this, 1 of this, 2 of this. With 1 6, you can have 4 4s, 4 3 2 1 and 0. So 5 cases like this, and all are 4s. That is one case, and 1. So 6 5 4 3 2 1 and 0. So 7 cases like this. How many did we get? 19. 19 is the answer. If you didn't understand it, you can ask me in the comment section. 19 is the answer. Now this is a interesting question. There are 4 letters and 4 envelopes, and exactly 1 letter is to be put in. Okay, if you want, I can just give you the direct answers as well, or do you need little bit of explanation, or should I just firstly give answer and then explain later? You can tell me in the comment section. The 4 letters and 4 envelopes. एक लेटर में एक एनवेलप जाएगा. There are correct envelopes, and 4 में 4 ही लेटर जाएगा. So let us read the statements then. It is possible that exactly 1 letter goes into incorrect envelope. तो 4 envelope है, 1 2 3 4 and 4 correct letters है, A B C D. अगर if envelope 1, we concluded that case, Shreya. All are ones. That was when 4s were 0 4s, 0 4s and all ones. We included that case. You can recheck. Answer is 19. I have included that case. Right? So if one envelope gets one wrong letter, so some other envelope has to get one wrong letter. अगर एक में रॉन्ग गया तो उसका तो उसके पास नहीं आया, तो किसी और का जो उसके अंदर है वो भी तो वहां पे नहीं गया. So this statement is not correct. And second statement, there are only 6 ways in which 2 letters can go into correct envelopes. So we want to choose 2 letters where correct envelopes would go. So out of 4, you can choose 2 in how many ways? 4C 2, that is 6. So this statement is correct. Answer here is B. Again, the question which was very easy and something which we have done umpteen amount of time. Answer of course is 0. What is the remainder when this is divided by 100? So just you have to check that this 100 is factor of this number. If 100 is factor of this number, it means that this number is completely divisible by 100 and remainder is 0. So is 100 factor? So 100 is 2 square, 5 square. 5 दो बार आ रहा है क्या? यहाँ पे एक बार आ रहा है, यहाँ पे एक बार आ रहा है. So 5 is coming 2 times, yes. And 4, 2 square is inside this. So yes. So answer here is A, 0. 100 is factor of this number. Okay, another question which we have done very large number of times in classroom. When we are doing powers, only the last digit matters. That we have discussed. So all these things do not matter. 2 is the only thing that matters, and all you have to do is just calculate this particular product. I think this comes 945. तो 2 raised to 945, इसका लास्ट डिजिट जो होगा वही इसका भी लास्ट डिजिट होगा, एंड पावर्स ऑफ 2 कम लाइक 2, 2 after that 4, then 8, then 6. In the blocks of 4, powers of 2 repeat. All you have to do is look for remainder when this 945 is divided by 4. What is the remainder? So you know the test of 4. 44 would be divisible by 4. 944 would be divisible by 4. Last two digits, and remainder would be 1. When the remainder is 1, last digit is 2. So answer here is A. Yes, I'll keep it short. I'll ask them to upload the answer key on our channel. In some time they will do that anyway. But this is for future candidates who may want some explanation. So I'll keep it short. I'll keep it to the point. Let me give some explanation, not entire detailed discussion. Okay, fine. Now we have two 3-digit numbers A, B, C and D, E, F. They are all distinct. They are all non-zero, and such that addition is 1, 1, 1, 1. Now, for a units digit to be 1, you have to get sum of these C and F as 11. So, sum of these two is 11, and here you will have to carry 1. So, sum of B and F has to be 10, so that 10 plus 1 will get 11. So, B plus E would be 10. Similarly, carry 1, A plus D, it will also be 10. So, total sum of all the digits 10 plus 10 plus 11, 31. Answer here is D. Keep telling me if you are getting it right, what you thought about the paper. This question, look at it. D is a 3-digit number such that ratio of sum of the digits and ratio of number to the digits. So, some A, B, C divided by A plus B plus C, that is what we are looking for. Now, forget about doing it by actual method or actual rather official or arithmetically correct way. Just think about it logically. We want this ratio to be minimum. अगर वो minimum चाहिए तो numerator should be as low as possible. So A has to be 1 and B and C should be as large as possible. So B and C should be 9, 9, and simply this is 1 plus 9 plus 9. So this is the answer. This should be the way, and ABC is 199. So difference between digits 9 and 1 is 8. Answer here is C. Otherwise there is a longer but perfect method to do it, but we'll discuss that in our batch. Or if some of you are interested, you can ask me, you can message me, and I'll tell you the actual way of doing it, or rather official or sort of mathematical way of doing it. Answer here is 8. Okay. Now look at this question. Crucial method reflected, conveyed by the author of the passage. Again the question asks methods. The passage is about emissions that humans put into the atmosphere. Humans have started emission. We know about climate change. That is the situation given. Technology has been changing, but could make future transition from fossil fuel cheap or might not. So technologies are definitely developing, but it might or might not succeed. We are living world with a terrible choice between sharply reducing emission and huge cost of suffering. Of course, there is a choice: either reduce emissions or suffer, or just blindly trust the technology will solve. So next he is saying that businesses that do not hedge against the threat of uncertain outcomes will fail. Of course, businesses will fail if they do not hedge this risk, and the world cannot afford such recklessness of businesses. Now the question asks, message: businesses that cause emission may need to close down or pay for emission in the future. Maybe, but is that the main message? The only solution is the technological development. Only तो नहीं होगा. Just wait, Jatin. Waiting to deal with carbon emission until technology improves is not a wise strategy. That is what author was mainly concerned about, that we are trusting blindly where that technology will solve everything. Businesses that cause emission may need to close down. Okay, they may need to, or pay for the pollution. That is nowhere said in the passage. So this is not correct. This is of course wrong. And since the technology is uncertain, new industry should be based on renewable energy. That is very, very tangent to the passage. Nowhere renewable energy is mentioned. So answer here is C. Question number 10 का 7 दिया है. नहीं बताया ना मैंने. 199 divided by 9 plus 9 plus 1, 19. This should be the ratio, and answer here is 8. Definitely. If you are interested, Jatin, you can message me. I'll tell you the detailed solution as well. By now, you should know that you can trust me. I have worked everything, and these are, according to my opinion, correct answers. In passages, UPSC may decide to give some different answer, but overall, I think these are the answers. Next question. Environmental problems cause health problems. We know that, and substantial changes in lifestyle can reduce environmental or health problems, but the idea appears almost impossible. Now, by changing lifestyle, we can change environment or we can change our health. ये हमें idea थोड़ा सा impossible to adopt लगता है. With environmental problems, individual efforts can be perceived as having negligible effort and therefore lead to inertia. Environmental solution के लिए, we don't think that our lifestyle change is one of the options which can make huge impact. With health, on the other hand, individual choices can make difference between life and death. Okay, here it is the key statement. Individual choices can make difference between life and death. Basically, environment का छोड़ दो एक जगह पे. Of course, that is also going to make the impact that the author is agreeing with. But for health, it will make impact of life and death. Literally. And yet, barring few, there seems to be lethargy towards making their choices. Of course, we don't eat right, we don't exercise and all. You know all that thing. So that is what author is saying. But if you do that, you can make difference between life and death. That is the author's submission. Now let us look at the options. Most rational assumption. Assumptions हमने क्या बोला था? Something that is implicit in the passage, something that is in the mind of author. We are likely to spend more money on cure than prevention. कुछ ऐसा बोला है? बिल्कुल नहीं बोला है. But कुछ बाद में options देखते हैं. Let us first go through the options. It is the job of government to solve the environmental and public health problem. ये तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं बोला है. Health can be protected even if environmental problems go on unattended. And lastly, traditional lifestyle and influence of Western values कुछ नहीं बोला है. ये सब एकदम incidental भी नहीं है. And author is not bothered about Western values and all. Okay, thank you, KKR. तुम कौन हो मुझे याद नहीं यार. But it's really, it will make me very happy if all of you pass the CSAT, and if my classes helped you. It is really good news. For me also it is very satisfying. So the answer here should be C. Next. Many people are not eating the right food, and for some it is just decision to stick to food that they enjoy, which is not healthy. Of course, all of us do that. This is leading to increasing non-communicable diseases. We know that, which in turn leads to major burden on our healthcare system that have potential to derail economic progress, which is essential for poor to improve their lives. Now the author is simply saying that yes, most of us are not making right choices with regard to our diet, and that will lead to communicable disease, burden on healthcare, and it will derail economic progress, and progress is essential especially for the poor. For others, it is not about limited access to food or a lack of affordability leading to monotonous diet that do not provide daily nutrients for them. So for many of us, it is that we are not eating right food, and for rest of the people, it is about not having the nutrients, not having wherewithal to get right nutrients, the money or the access. Part of the reason the nutrition is under threat worldwide is that our food systems are not properly responding to the nutritional needs. That we know. Our food systems are dependent on cereals, but we need other nutritions as well. Somewhere along the road, from farm to fork, there needs to be serious detour taking the place. We need to change our path. That is what the author is saying. Now, question is crux of the passage, the core, the main thing author is worried about, concerned about, or want to say. First statement, universal basic income. Not even remotely has author said anything about universal basic income. Then genetically modified crops, nothing even remotely there. And fortified crops, nowhere fortification has been mentioned. So answer here is B, that we must place our food-based nutrition at the center of our policy debate. Debate hi kar raha tha author pura. That is the main concern. Others are very wrong. So answer is B. Okay. Firstly, let me give you the answer. Answer here is, first is correct. So 1 only is the answer. Second is not correct. And how you can do it? There are 5 numbers, 2 are odd and 5 are 2 are odd and 3 are even. So odd you can write 2a plus 1, 2b plus 1 and 2c plus 1, and even you can write 2d and 2e. Right? 2 are odd, right? Okay. So 3 are even. And then you can do that. 3 are positive, 2 are negative. So which 2 can be negative? 2 odd can be negative or subtracted. 2 odd can be 2 odd can be here, 1 odd can be here, or no odd can be here. These are the 3 of choices. So even in all the 3 cases, you can get this as the correct. So this statement is always correct. But in second case, if you put Q and T as odd numbers, then you will get this as an even number, and here 2 is a factor, so it will not be even, it will not be odd. So second statement is wrong. Alternatively, you can put values, take 3 odd numbers, 2 even numbers, and play with them and get the answer. So here answer is A. Guys, if you are answering now, put number, because here there is some lag and I don't know which question you are giving answer to. So put numbers in front of your answers. Okay, another arithmetic question. This paper was really dominated by arithmetic and permutation combinations, and in our classes we have done 10 out of 40 lectures were dedicated to these 2 chapters. So we studied it quite thoroughly, but still I felt that some of the questions would be difficult for you guys. Yes, definitely, Raj. We'll come up with the new batch, but right now everybody would be focused on mains. You also should focus on mains, even if not this year, for next year. And let UPSC first come up with the result. You can check your marks to assure yourself. But even if you are getting 80 marks in GS paper 1 and you are qualifying here, you should start preparing for mains. And even if you don't qualify this year, if you want to appear next year, it should be like कि next year जब मैं pre निकालूंगा, I'll get entirely through. Then you don't want to get stuck at mains. You just study for mains right now. We'll come up with the new batch towards the after mains, so that more people can benefit, and that would be right time to prepare for CSAT. We will come up with the new batch. Don't worry. Now look at this. There are prime and composite numbers. We have studied about prime and composite numbers. मैंने बोला था क्लास में भी कि प्राइम नंबर्स से क्वेश्चन आते ही है. एटलीस्ट 2 क्वेश्चंस I can remember right now about prime numbers. This was one of them. So when can this ratio be even? When both numbers are even. Can prime plus composite be even? When is number even? Addition is even. When both are odd or both are even. So that is possible. This is also possible. So first is obviously correct. 2p plus c can be odd. When can number be odd? When one of them is even and other is odd. 2p is always even. And c, can composite number be odd? Yes, there are hundreds of infinitely many composite odd numbers, like 9. And last, pc can be odd. When can product be odd? When both numbers are odd. Can there be odd prime number? Yes. Can there be odd composite number? Yes. So 15D. Okay. Now let us come to 16. Now this question appeared quite difficult but was very easy. And I don't expect you to realize this inside exam hall, but this is of course post analysis, so that's why I'm telling that this question was very easy, and if you could get it inside exam hall, great. Now firstly look at this. We are having ABC into D is 3, 7, D, D. Because the number is greater than 3000, 3-digit number into a single digit number is greater than 3000. So can D be 3 or less than 3? यहाँ पे अगर even if this is 3 and even if this is 900 something, you will not go beyond 3000. So D has to be greater than equal to 4. Right? D has to be greater than equal to 4. Now let us start doing this then. If D is 4, then you will have ABC into 4 is 3744. So इसका मतलब क्या है? ABC is equal to 3744 divided by 4. इसका आंसर आता है कुछ देख लो 936. All are different. So that is your answer. This is ABC and D is 4. You are asked A plus B plus C. 9 plus 6 plus 3. Answer should be A, 18. Any doubt? You can ask. You can stop me and you can ask the doubt. But here answer is A. And it is a unique answer because, well, you can put other numbers as well. You can put D as 5 and then try to divide, D as 6 try to divide, D as 7 try to divide. And none of them give you such in ABC as integer. So answer is uniquely this 936. So answer is 18. Okay. ABC into D is 3744. So this number 3744 is greater than 3000, na? 3744 is definitely greater than 3000. And if D you can put, if D is less than 4, say 3. If D is 3 and ABC maximum in ABC can be 987. If you multiply this number comes out to be 2900 something. So this number, even if you take maximum, will be less than 3000. So D cannot be 3 or less than 3. D has to be 4 or greater than 4. Fine, let us go ahead. Again, something we have done in class many times. This type of questions 1 2 3 1 2 3 3 4 5 3 4 5 XYZ XYZ. Something which you can observe readily is this is divisible by 11, alternate digit ka sum, and then you can simply just take any numbers, take 1 2 3 1 2 3 or then take whatever 7 8 9 7 8 9 and try. Answer here is D. Very simple question. You can just take 2 examples and divide. Don't waste too much time in it. If you know, you know. If you don't, you can take 2 examples and be ensured. Fine. 18th question. Again very easy. We have done this in class as well during cubes and dices. We have a cube which is 5 by 5 by 5 because there are 125 identical cubes. So this is a cube with side 5 and they are arranged to form a block. Question is how many are surrounded by other cubes from all the sides. So basically question is the outer cubes which are on the surfaces of the cube, they will not be surrounded by the cube on all sides, but those cubes which are inside that, those will be surrounded by other cubes. So you have to come one inside from this side, one inside from this, one inside from this, one inside from this, one inside from bottom, one inside from top. So from 5, the inside cube of 3 by 3 by 3, that is the number of cubes which are surrounded by other cubes from all the sides. So answer here is 3 cube, which is 27. Yes, Jatin, that is also correct. This number is divisible by 1111, 1001, which is 7 into 11 into 3. So that is why you will have it divisible by all three of them. Okay. Now next question. Again from permutations and combinations chapter. We have 8 digits, 1 twice, 2 twice, 3 twice and 4 twice, and we are given that we want to rearrange these numbers and form numbers such that odd digits occupy odd positions, even digits occupy even positions. So यहाँ पे odd 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 odd, यहाँ पे even. Okay. Now let us first look at odd numbers. How many are there? 1 1 3 3. Now let's first arrange them. How many ways are there to arrange? You take any arrangement. Let us take this 1 1 3 3. And now I fix this and I make changes in rest of the things. It is like anagrams. Keeping this fixed, we can change this. How many ways are there? Anagrams of like 2 2 4 4. There are 4 factorial by 2 factorial ways. We have done this in class, which is 6. For every such number, for every such fixation, you will have 6 ways. And how many ways to fix these things? They are also same. So total 6 into 6, 36 is the answer. Here answer is C. 19 ka C. If you think that this is going too fast, I am really sorry, but you guys want it to be little bit faster. Of course, I can explain it in much more depth and with giving a lot of examples. But here we have to make it quick as well. We don't want a 4-hour session. So here, very interesting question, quite from simple topic, but different question. There are 3 people who are finishing a work in 8, 16 and 12 days. So as always, A, B and C will finish in one day 1/8 of work, 1/16 of work and 1/12 of work, right? In one day. Now they are working on Monday 1, on Tuesday 2nd and on Wednesday 3rd. And this pattern is repeating. That is what the question gives. So by Wednesday, they will do this much work, 1/16 plus 1/12. How much is this? You can find the LCM. LCM of the denominator is 48. You can convert. You will get 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 4, 13. So this is 13 by 48. Now we want to comment about when will the work finish. Now if there are 3 iterations of this thing, right? You will get 39 by 48 amount of work done. After 9 days, this much work will be done. After 10 days, 1/8, which is 45 by 48 after 10 days. And after 11th day, 45 by 48 plus 1 by 16, so which is 1. So on 11th day, work will finish. Let's look at the statement. Second statement is clearly wrong. 10 days, it is not 10, it is 11 days. And secondly, the work will be finished on Thursday. So if you calculate, 11th day is indeed a Thursday because they start on Monday to next Monday and 4 days ahead of Monday. So first statement is correct. It is next Thursday when the work will get over. So answer here is A. Little bit tricky, although from simple topic. Next question. To tackle problem of pollution in cities, we need policymakers think that drastic actions like odd, even and all, they are necessary, but passage is saying that it will not make much difference because they don't contribute that much. Then it is giving description about which engine produces which more, which is not relevant to the passage. Now here look at it. Arbitrary bans are unfair, and what is needed is the scientific and reliable information about the sources of pollutants and uh, on continuing basis and technologies that will work to reduce pollution from them. So basically arbitrary bans are unscientific and unfair as well. That is what author is saying. Now, which is the most rational logical implication or inference? Let's look at the options. Arbitrary curves are difficult to implement. Implementation के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोला है. Then heavy penalty should be enforced on those driving without test. Nothing has been said about this. In absence of laws, problem administration tends to make arbitrary decision. कौन बोला absence of laws है? ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोला गया है कि laws are not there. That is why they are acting like this. The passage talks about knee-jerk reactions that will not solve the problem. So answer here is B. Next passage is about corporate governance. Corporate governance structures requires companies, and corporate governance structures encourage companies to provide accountability and control. And fundamental reason why it has become a political agenda worldwide has been rapid growth of international market. This has been underlined by author as key reason for the growth of political agenda around corporate governance. And effective corporate governance enhances access to external financing by firms, leading to greater investment, growth, employment, and etc. etc. And where the standards of disclosure, timely financial reporting, of equal treatment to all shareholders are met. So those who do all this get more and more resources. That is what the passages say. Now let us look at options. Which of the following best reflects and is the most logical inference? Which is the most logical inference? Let us look at it. It is important agenda of the countries around the world to ensure access to good external financing. Passage is not about countries, passage is about corporate governance. Good corporate governance improves credibility of the firms. This is absolutely right. That is what the passage was saying, that those who adhere to those good corporate norms get more and more funds. And third, international capital markets ensure, markets थोड़ी ensure करेंगे कि companies are maintaining their good corporate governance. Companies are doing it because they are getting more and more funds. So answer here is B. Let us look at it. Next question. Many of you might want to disagree with me on this, but hear me out. Elephants are the landscape architects. Landscape architects catering to clearing of forest, preventing outgrowth of certain plant species, and allowing space for regeneration of others, which in turn provides sustenance of the other herbivorous animals. So elephant, because of actions of elephants, other people get lot of benefits. Elephants eat plants, fruits, seeds. When they defecate, they propagate those seeds. Elephant dung is nourishment. In times of drought, they dig holes, which benefits other wildlife as well. Now, let us look at the option. Which one of the following is the most logical and rational inference that can be drawn? Okay, let us look at this. The home range of elephant needs to be vast area of rich biodiversity. ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोला है. The passage is mainly about elephants being able to change their environment. Third statement, rich biodiversity cannot be maintained in the forest without presence of elephants. This is also not being said. Now there is doubt in B and D. Now read the, क्या हुआ, चल रहा है ना, ठीक है. Second statement talks about elephant being the keystone species. Now tell me, anywhere in the passage is keystone species mentioned or being talked about or being indicated? Nowhere. And the instruction, let us look at the instructions before the passages. And I'll highlight this. Your answers to this item should be based on passages only. Only passages पे ही आंसर देना है. ऐसा बाहर का अपना नॉलेज यूज नहीं करना है. You are using your incidental knowledge to conclude keystone species. Unless keystone species is defined in the passage, how can you say elephants are keystone species? Right? This is not the answer. Answer here is D. Elephants are capable of regenerating forest with species as per their requirements. When elephant is defecating, it is doing as per its requirement. It is not defecating because they want to transfer the seeds. When elephants are digging holes, they are doing it because they want water, not because other species should benefit. So whatever elephants are doing, they are doing for their benefit, not for benefit of others. But in doing that action, it is able to regenerate forests. That is the thing. They are forest engineers. Answer here is D. As per their requirement का मतलब होता है in their normal life, whatever they are doing, in that practice they are taking some activities, they are defecating, so that is as per their requirement they are doing it. Water is their requirement, defecation is their requirement. Answer according to me must be D. Rest you can assume the answer to be B if it pleases you. Okay, let us look at this. Very easy, but again this is the post analysis. In examination hall, this may appear very difficult. It is I'll tell you the pattern, you can calculate. You just add the three numbers and you get 26, and you add 2 plus 6, you get 8. And accordingly add the number and then add the digits. And in this you get addition as 27 plus 15, so 42, and answer 4 plus 2, answer is A, 6. Okay, simple. Let us move ahead. Now let x be a positive integer. This is mentioned, and we have discussed this in the class. All this term make lot of difference, such that 7x plus 96 is divisible by x. So it is some k into x. So how many values of x are possible? Let us take x on the one side. So 96 is equal to k minus 7 into x. Now because x is a positive integer, k minus 7 also has to be positive integer, and accordingly you can then factor 96 and look for values of x and k minus 7. I'll not go into the details right now, but I'll give you the answer. Answer here is C. There are 12 factors, 12 values of x that are possible, with the condition k is greater than 7. Okay, because this value has to be positive, because positive into positive will only give you positive value. You have to factorize 96 and look for values which give x as positive and then k as positive. All the 12 factors, I think 96 से 12 factors होंगे. You can just enlist them 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on till 96. So these are 12 factors. So 12 is the answer. Okay. Again, question may appear simple right now, but may not be. easy to do inside examination hall. ट्वेंटी फोर्थ ए, हाँ 24th का ए है, सही है. Guys, let me know if you are getting correct answers or not. If you have any doubts, if you want more explanation or less explanation, that is also fine. Okay, next question. PQRS are distinct single digit positive. Everything is given. So these are distinct positive single digit numbers. And then what is the greatest value of P plus Q into R plus S? Now logically, PQRS would be from 7, 8, 9 and 10, 6, 7, 8 and 9, right? These will be PQRS because we want maximum products. Now just we have to calculate कि कौन सा combination सबसे best है. 6 plus 7 into 8 plus 9, तो 17 into 13 ये calculate करो. फिर और क्या कर सकते हो, 14 into 16 ये calculate करो, and last 15 into 15 ये calculate करो. Out of that 15 into 15, 225 is the maximum value. So answer here is 225 or B. Next question. Next question is not very obvious thing to do, but if I explain you, you will understand it, not very difficult as well. What we are saying is, n is, we are writing 9 99 times. So 99999, ऐसे we are writing it 99 times, and then we are dividing it by 30. Now let's recall our question that XYZ is divisible by 13. वो तो हमने calculate किया था. So if 999, these 6 digits, they will be divisible by 13. That you know. So after 6 9s, you will get 0 remainder. Again after 6 9s, you will get 0 remainder. And ऐसे करके after 19 6 9s, which is divisible by 6, you will get 0 remainder. Now what remains? 3 9s remain. So all you have to do is this thing, and whatever the remainder is, that is the answer. You can calculate this. This remainder comes out as 11. So answer is A. Okay. Next, we are getting each digit of 9-digit number is 1. It is multiplied by itself. So 9-digit number 111, 111, 111 is squared. We want to find out what is the sum of the digits of resulting number. Now just play around. 1 का square करो, 11 का square करो, it is 121, 11, 1 का square करो, it will be 12321. So you can see the pattern. So इसका क्या होगा, 1 2 3 ऐसे करके 9 तक, and फिर 8 7 ऐसे करके 1 तक. You can just add all these numbers, or you can do 1 plus 2 plus 8 तक कर दो. That would be 8 into 9 by 2, और 2 बार है, and plus 9. If you do this, you will get 81 as the answer. Next, again seemingly difficult question, but not very difficult. Calculation error हो सकता है. We want to calculate sum of all the digits from 10 to 100. 10 to 100 में all the digits का sum हमें देखना है. So basically 1 कितनी बार आता है, 2 कितनी बार आता है, 3 कितनी बार आता है, 4 कितनी बार आता है. We want to calculate that and add those things. So how many times 1 will come? 1 will come in 10, 11, 12, 13 up to 19, and it will also come in 11, 12, 11, 21, 31. There also it will come once. So total 19 like this, and in 100 it will come again, so 1 comes 20 times, rest of them will come 19 times. You can just do this. So 19 into 1 plus 2 plus up to 9 and 1 20 बार आ रहा है तो इसलिए एक और बार ऐड कर दो. So this is 10, 9 into 10 by 2 into 19 plus 1. That is the answer. Answer here is 856. आपको थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज करने के लिए यूपीएससी ने 855 भी आंसर दिया है. If in case you forget to add this one, but answer here is 856. Now geometry ka question, very easy. We have done geometry in class. What we are saying is there is a square and we are taking 2 points on this side, 2 points on this side and 1 on this side. So we have 6 points and we want to create okay, Shubham, I just gave you my opinion. I could be wrong on that question, but according to my opinion, option 4 fits perfectly. So there is no real reason for UPSC to give B as answer. In my opinion, it should be D. If you want to assume B, you can do that. I hope you are not dependent on that single question and you have attempted more. In any case, we won't know whatever UPSC says goes. Okay, let's come back to rest of the questions. Now here, to form a triangle, we need to choose any 3 points. Any 3 points in space will give you one triangle, except if the 3 points are collinear. Here, no 3 points are collinear, so you can randomly choose any 3 points out of 6. So there are 6 C3 ways. 6 C3 is 20. So answer here is C. Simple question. If you know the concept, of course. Now let us come back to this question. It is about municipal solid waste. This was an easy passage. The passage was about how municipal solid waste sourcing segregation is rare. So segregation कौन करेगा? हम लोग करेंगे. जो waste generator है, जो waste generator will segregate. That is rare. Recycling is mostly with the informal sector. जो हमें पता है, more than 3/4 of the municipal budget goes into collection and transportation, and very little goes for resource recovery and disposal. Of course, we know funds is one of the huge problems with municipal bodies. Where does waste to energy fit in all of this? Ideally, it fits in the chain after segregation. मतलब segregate करने के बाद ही you can effectively use waste to energy, and technology is most appropriate in converting waste to energy. Depends on what is the waste, biodegradable or non-biodegradable. The biodegradable is little over 50% and biomethanation is a major solution for processing this. ठीक है? Which of the following assumptions have been made? Assumption मतलब something which is implicit or something which may be in the mind of author. First, collection, processing and segregation should be with the government agencies. That is nowhere being said. Author just states that segregation नहीं हो रहा है. Segregation करना तो generator को ही पड़ेगा. Government cannot segregate effectively. We as a citizens have responsibility to segregate. Resource recovery and recycling require technology input that can best be handled by private sector enterprises. Now, author has not really said anything about private sector enterprises. So, in my opinion, this should also be wrong. Answer here should be D. Author just says that segregation should happen so that we can recover from biomethanation and all. And if you look at Indore model, here private sector are incorporated, but not as a replacement of the government in all these things. Recycling, recovery, they are addition. Next question. तो जहां पे भी 2 क्वेश्चन होंगे, one of them would be easy. Which of the following is the crux? This was very easy question. Crux was segregation is the first step. That is the crux. Now biomethanation is the ideal way. That was not said. Inexpensive, nothing about that was said. and it is not adequate, that was also not said. So answer here was simply C. Next, the organic farming is inherently safer and healthier. That is the claim, but reality is that because of this, because of that claim, it is very young and not well regulated. So farmers and consumers alike are not only confused what is best for them, but sometimes use product in ways that could be harmful for them. That is the important statement because question us pe based hai. For example, organic fertilizer is difficult to obtain. Farmers use farmhead manure which has toxic chemicals. Okay, certain plant sprays, if not applied in the right dose, can hamper nervous system and all. So the author is basically saying organic farming ऐसा नहीं है कि everything is great with it and there is very little research and education on it. So which of the assumptions have been made? Organic farming inherently unsafe for both farmers and consumption. It is not saying that, but it is saying inherently safe नहीं है. Unsafe भी नहीं बोल रहा, but it is not inherently safe. Farmers and consumers need to be educated. Definitely, it is saying that there is lot of confusion, so they need to be educated. Which of the following best reflects logical, rational, practical message? In India, organic farming should not be promoted as a substitute. ऐसा कुछ नहीं बोला गया है. That is very entirely different argument. There are no safe organic alternatives to chemical fertilizers. ऐसा भी नहीं बोला गया है. In India, farmer needs to be guided and helped to make organic farming sustainable. Farmer needs to be guided because they don't really have experience, they don't have information, knowledge to do all this. Answer here is C. Okay, next question. Food consumption patterns have changed, of course. So the passage is about millets. This has resulted disappearance of millets. While food grains have increased, it has not addressed malnutrition. Agriculture sector has particularly focused on staples, and which led to lower consumption of indigenous grains and fruits and other vegetables, leading to nutrition security and food security issues. Further, intensive monoculture can perpetuate food nutrition security problem by degrading quality of land, water and food derived from it. So there is no new information here. Everything we know, author has just summarized issue of monoculture and increasing focus on wheat and rice and neglect of millets and other fruits and pulses, etc. So which of the following assumptions have been made to implement sustainable development goals? कुछ बोला है सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स? कुछ नहीं बोला है. तो एक तो पहले ही गलत हो गया. इफ यू कैन रिमूव ऑप्शन नंबर 1, this is wrong. You just have to look at 2, 4 and 3, 4. So just look at statement number 2. Dependence on few crops has negative consequences from human health and ecosystem. Of course that is right. That is what the passage is saying. So answer here is B. Fine. Let us come back at our quants and LR section. Box contains 14 black balls, this many blue balls, then yellow balls, then red balls and white balls. Now there are two statements. These are two separate questions and answer I'll give you. Answer here is C. Both are correct. The smallest number n such that any n balls are drawn from the box randomly must contain one full group of at least one color. Basically we want one full group of at least one color. So again let us take worst possible case that इसके 14 नहीं आते, 13 आ जाते हैं, इसके 19 आते हैं, इसके 25 आते हैं, then 27 आते हैं, इसके 37 आते हैं and इसके 53 आते हैं. This is the worst case. So it should come as 174. So 175 पे एक कोई ना कोई full color आ जाएगा. Similarly, smallest number such that balls drawn randomly must contain at least one ball of each color. So take worst possible case and start with bigger thing कि सारे कलर चाहिए ना, तो वर्स्ट पॉसिबल क्या होगा, पहले सारे व्हाइट आ गए, फिर सारे रेड आ गए, फिर सारे येलो, देन दिस एंड लास्टली up to 20 add karo, this should be 166, so 167th would be black ball. Okay, answer here is both statements correct. Now again very easy question, you just have to transfer. As I have already told you this trick, whenever this code kind of question comes, you write ABC up to M and N O P up to Z, and now you have pairing as well as cycle. So here Z goes to C, Z goes to, after omitting 2 goes to C, E goes to H, E after omitting 2 goes to F, and so on. So this code comes as D. P 2 छोड़ के आगे वाला लो, L 2 छोड़ के आगे वाला लो, and so on. So answer is D. Here also UPSC has tried to bring in GS1 wala type, where how many statements are required to solve this question is asked. Question is to determine oldest. To determine oldest, we need some relation between all of them. Now information about E is only here, so this is required. A is only here, B is only here, so this would be required. They are of the same age. If we know that, then only we can determine if they are the old one, who is the oldest. And this is also required, and this is also required. Everything is required. If we know all information, then only we know all the interlinkages, and you can say that answer is D. Next question. Again, similar type of question. Which statements are needed to determine relation between question क्या था? E and D. तो E के बारे में तो इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए ही, B के बारे में भी चाहिए, तो ये इधर है. अब D एंड C का इधर रिलेशन है, बट C एंड A का इधर है, तो सबको कनेक्ट करने के लिए यू नीड ऑल द रिलेशन. सो आंसर हियर इज आल्सो all the 4 are sufficient. You can draw the family tree as well. Answer is D. Now here the second prime wala question that I was talking about, the pattern, look at all these numbers, all are primes and in increasing order. These are also primes, these are also prime, but here 91 is not a prime number, it is a composite number. So answer is D. About this question also there is little bit of difference of opinion among different answer keys, but I have researched about it a bit. You can simply understand this, that the vernal window basically means from winter to summer is the window that is being called vernal window, and the author is saying vernal window matlab winter jaldi khatam ho raha hai because temperatures are rising. What is the spring? Spring means ending of winter and just before beginning of summer, that is spring. So winter, if winter will stop, winter will end early, then spring will start early. Because spring will start early and the vernal period is increasing, spring will be for longer period. That is the passage. You can read the passage. Which of the assumptions have been made? Global warming is causing spring to come early and longer duration. Yes, temperature rising is what global warming is. And assumptions pucha hai. Assumptions may not always be mentioned in the passage. Assumption is something which is implicit. So this is correct. Early spring and longer period of spring is not good for bird population. This is also correct. That is also there in the passage. So answer here is C. Now let us go to next question. Nitrogen use efficiency. The passage is about the measure of nitrogen amount. So plant, we give nitrogen fertilizers to plant. Some of it is used by plant for growing, for nutrition. The rest of it ends up as a pollution. That is the efficiency, and the percentages and numbers are given. And it is then talking about more than half of population is nourished by such food and such fertilizer that is synthetic. This result in emission of this nitrogen, nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas, and ozone depleting gas and all, and polluting as well. The question is most logical rational message. Yes. Now we can eliminate certain options. Synthetic fertilizers cannot be stopped as it will adversely affect global food security. The crops that require excess nitrogen should be identified and they should be cultivated. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. This is also not there. Conventional agriculture should be replaced with बोला है. Conventional agriculture तो replace तो नहीं कर सकते. So answer here is question starting with starting ही पैसेज का efficiency के साथ हुआ था and उसकी वजह से जो issues हो रहे थे they were being discussed in the later part. So answer here is A. Now this passage is about climate justice. It is one of the significant principle along with sustainable lifestyle. Both these principles have bearing on political and economic choices. And जो भी climate summits हो रहे हैं, अरे यार फिर से हो गया ये. Yes, both have bearing on political and economic choices. So all these have eluded consensus. Consensus obviously नहीं होगा यहाँ पे climate justice and all पे. And justice in the judicial sense is defined, but here it is not very well scientifically defined, but has socio-political connotations. Now here is the main part of the passage. Crucial question for next few years will be how resources, technologies, regulations are used to support victims of climate change. That is the crucial question. That is the main crux of the passage, the main part of the passage. Justice in climate is not confined to actions relating to mitigation, but includes wider notion of support of adaptation and compensation for loss and damage. These are the things we know. Okay. Now let us look at the which is the most logical rational message conveyed. Climate justice should be ingrained in detail in the rules of all new climate compacts and agreements. Now author has said that this is important thing, but consensus has not been met. इसके आगे author ने कुछ भी नहीं बोला. That is not author's message. Author perhaps knows that this is not possible to have all those detailed rules in all the agreements because there will be no consensus. Second statement, resources are unevenly distributed. That is okay, but not relevant to this passage. Then D, climate change in all connotation is mostly due to developed countries. That is also okay, but यहाँ पे भी extreme है. This is also not mentioned, so this is wrong. Answer here is C. The crucial impact of climate change would be about climate refugees, and we need to help them. Loss and damage. That was the crucial part of the passage. This is the answer. There is impending issue of dealing with climate change victims and refugees. Okay. Here again, seemingly difficult question, but not very difficult if you know what to do. The principle P becomes Q in 1 year when compounded half yearly. So Q is equal to P into 1 plus R by 2 because R is annual rate and we have to compound half annually. This is square, and Q is also P into 1 plus S by 100. Here it will be 2 because half annually compound हो रहा है. So we have two values for Q. So we can equate this. P cancel हो जाएगा and you can expand this thing, you get r less than s. Okay, expand भी कर देता हूं अगर तुम्हें चाहिए तो किसी को, if you want for reference, 1 plus r by 100 plus r square by 400, and here we have is equal to 1 plus s by 100. 1 will get cancelled and this is square term, so this is greater than 0. वो वहां पे जाएगा तो s minus r by 100 हो जाएगा, because this is greater than 0. Numerator s minus r is greater than 0, so s is greater than r. Answer is C. How many natural numbers are there which give remainder of 31 when this is divided by these natural numbers? So we want to divide 1186 by some natural number. So we can write this equation, some natural number into k plus remainder which is 31. So some natural number into k is 1155. So we want to factorize 1155. It comes out as I think 3 into 5 into 11 into 7, if I am not wrong. Yes, this is the factorization. Now we just want to put this condition that we want remainder to be 31. For remainder to be 31, this natural number n has to be greater than 31. Then only remainder can be less than, remainder is always less than the quotient. So that is why factors out of these things, we want to divide this into two groups, n and k, and n is such that n should be greater than 31. So you can calculate all the possibilities and answer here comes out as 8. Answer is C. Again, we can discuss everything in detail, but we have paucity of time. Now next question, quite lengthy question, not very easy, and here there is also a little bit of doubt involved as to whether this T and P are same or different. They should be same because distinct nahi likha hai, and options are also framed such that they are same. Here what you do is, here denominator is 0, no? So PP, QQ, RR, ये तीनों को add करके you get T, T and 0, right? So firstly तो by adding three two-digit numbers, you cannot get something which is more than 300. So basically this TT0 can be 110 or 220. That is the first conclusion, and then you need to start playing around with what can be P, what can be Q, what can be R. So P smallest you can take, and then look at what can be Q and what can be R. So you can take 22, and so that R can be 77. So 7 plus 3 plus 1, 0, and then 110. So like that you need to play around. Here only constraint is P and T can be same, because otherwise anything now is not given. Yes, this question was to leave alone. This was quite lengthy. It required a lot of calculation. So you could have left it alone. The answer here, in my opinion, should be C, but that is with assumption that P and T can be same, like this. यहाँ पे P and T same है, तो ये allowed है, तो answer must be C. Otherwise it could be D if UPSC denies it. But ऐसा कुछ बोला नहीं गया है, so we don't really know. But in my opinion, they will allow it. Answer is C. Fine. This you could have attempted. This was easy question. What is the sum of all 4-digit numbers less than 2000? So 4-digit number less than 2000, matlab units place is always 1. Sorry, thousands place, not units place. Thousands place will always be 1, because वो 2 होगा तो उसके बाद जो भी होगा उससे बड़ा होगा. Then other digits यहाँ पे 2, 3, 4, they can come only after 1. Otherwise number would be greater than 2000, and none of the digits are repeated. तो 2, 3, 4 आएगा, फिर 1, 2, 4, 3 आएगा, फिर 1, 3 क्या आएगा, 2, 4 आएगा, 1, 3, 4, 2 आएगा, ऐसे ही 1, 4, 2, 3 आएगा, and 1, 4, 3, 2 आएगा. Only these 6 numbers are there. add them, answer here is A. ठीक है, the condition is less than 2000, so यहाँ पे बस एक आना चाहिए, that is the key you need to understand. Again, this also is very easy question. You could get wrong because of miscalculation, but otherwise very easy question. Simply there are 12 people sitting in a circle and we want to select 10 out of those, okay? 10 consecutively seated those. So basically 10 लोग को 12 में से सिलेक्ट करना है consecutive, so 2 लोग को नहीं करना है. You can just start with 2 लोग को नहीं करना है, बाकियों को करना है, बाकी are consecutive. And so non-selected people are also consecutive. So you can start with ये 1 number दे दो, इसको 2 दे दो, इसको 12 दे दो. Okay? So 1, 2 are not there. Rest of them are there. 2, 3 are not there. 3, 4 not there. 4, 5 not there, and so on. 11, 12 not there. But don't forget 12 and 1 not there. If you forget this case, you will get 11. But this is also possible. If you can exclude these things and choose rest of the 10 people, that is also allowed case. So answer here is C. Next question. Now this is traditionally calendar questions have been coming easy, but this year UPSC has decided to insert arithmetic inside calendars. The question is, if today is Sunday, what day will there be on 10 raised to 10th day? ये कैसे निकालते हैं? We just want to see कि if when we divide this 10 raised to 10 by 7, what is the remainder? That is essentially the question. So you just write 10 raised to 10. This is 10 raised to 10. You divide by 7, do some calculation, brute force, and find the remainder. Remainder comes out as 4. So from Sunday, you can go to Thursday. This was the way to do it. Now, it is a bit lengthy because you have to do this division. And you have to realize that you have to do it directly. There is no trick or anything involved. Okay? This is the answer here. This is very standard question from our LCM chapter. There are 3 signals which turn green after different times. So 25 seconds, second takes 39 seconds, and third takes 60 seconds. So basically we want to find LCM of all those 3 numbers. You can calculate LCM. This is 5 square. This is 3 into 13. This is 2 square into 3 into 5. Find the LCM. LCM would be 2 square into 3 into 5 square into 13. This is the number of seconds. Convert it into hours. Convert it into minutes. I think the answer comes out as 4 p.m. 4:10. So 140 comes, I think it is. So answer is 4:10. This was based on LCM. Okay. Let us come back to passages. Okay, sourcing food from non-agriculture land, matlab forest and wetlands and pastures, in addition to agriculture land, enables systematic approach to food consumption. It allows communities to sustain themselves and steer clear of disaster and shortfalls. Since the productivity of trees is often more resilient and diverse to diverse conditions than crops, it is the safety net for food shortages and crop failures. It is an important contributor during seasonal crop gaps. Basically, the author is saying that these forest crops or pastures or wetlands, they are important. Their importance is being mentioned in the passage. Which of the following is the most logical, rational message conveyed? Again, first option, food yielding trees should replace other trees. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा, other tree का भी कुछ function है भाई, replace थोड़ी करेंगे. Food security cannot be ensured with the present practice of conventional agriculture. Again, extreme statement wrong. Wetlands and degraded land should be converted into agroforestry. अभी तो बोला wetland का important function है, यहाँ पे replace थोड़ी करेंगे. So this is also wrong. So correct answer is agrosystems should be developed in addition to or along with conventional agriculture. See, in general, passages are quite easy to do. Out of 27, at least 20 to 23, there is no doubt about. There could be doubt about 2-3 questions, and ultimately UPSC will decide what should be the answer in them. But rest 20-23 question, there is no doubt about it. Very easy questions actually compared to quant and LR section. Now, antibiotics misuse is very well known, as is the impact of dosing poultry with antibiotics. The environmental impact of antibiotic manufacturing companies not treating their waste has scarcely been discussed or at any length or seriousness thus far. Pollution from these factories is fueling rise to drug-resistant infections. The occurrence of drug-resistant bacteria surrounding the pharma manufacturing plants is well known. The author is talking about drug-resistant bacteria due to mainly these polluting industries, pharma industries. Which one of the following is the message, practical, logical message? It is necessary to put proper effluent treatments, protocols in place, promote environmental awareness. Main focus is on companies. Spread cannot be done away with, and inherent, no. That is not what he is saying. And pharma companies should be set up in rural areas. क्यों भाई वहां पे हो क्या मतलब? The thing is we need to have proper protocols in place. That is why answer here should be A. Fine. Next question. Benefits of good quality education accrue only when students complete and leave school after having acquired gateway skills. So, author is saying that there should be skills as well. Like one learns to walk before running, similarly one picks up advanced skill only after picking up basic foundational skill. The advent of knowledge economy, the author is talking about what is needed for advanced skill is basic skill, and knowledge economy poses new challenges, and one of the severe consequences of having an uneducated workforce will be our inability to keep pace with the global economy. The author is talking about knowledge economy, global economy. Author is clearly worried about that. Without strong learning foundation at primary level, there can be no improvement in higher education and skill development. Then finally, he says that we need to improve primary education. Now, which of the following is reflecting crux of the passage? First, B देख लेते हैं. India is unable to become global power because it is not focusing on promoting. India is unable to become global power because we are not promoting knowledge economy. ऐसा तो नहीं है. We are definitely promoting and focusing. Our education system should be focused more on imparting skills during higher education. That is not what we are saying. 48 का A होगा. Let me see. Parents of many school children are illiterate. तो parents के बारे में भी कोई बात नहीं हो रही. Answer here should be A. $48 का A नहीं है, 48 का C है अजय. I have already explained how we did this. Forty children are standing in a circle, and one of them, say child 1, has a ring. He passes it clockwise. अब एक के पास ring है. There are 40 people standing on a circle. So 1 to 40. 1 passes to 2, 2 passes to 4, 4 passes to 8, and 4 passes to 7. Sorry, 7 and so on. So 1 से जाएगा 2 को, फिर 4 को, फिर 7 को, and so on. So how is it going? 1 plus 1, 3, 4, 5 ऐसा जा रहा है. So basically 1 के बाद कहाँ पे जाएगा? 1 plus 1 पे जाएगा, 1 plus 2 पे जाएगा, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 पे जाएगा. So this is what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, n into n plus 1 by इस इन पोजिशंस पे जाएगा रिंग, and we want it to come back to this child number 1. Child number 1 is same as child number 41, right? It is same as child number 81 and 121 and 161 and so on. अब we want to put different values of n and see कहाँ पे वो आता है, right? 1 पे first pass, 2 पे second pass, ऐसा होता है. तो we can put 14, 15 as this n. 15 पे आंसर आ जाता है. 15 into 16 by 2 plus 1 is 121. So answer here is B. I'm really sorry if I'm going faster, but we have to quickly finish it. See, what is the middle term of this sequence? So we are saying Z is number 26, वो 2 बार आएगा. Number 25 3 बार आएगा. Number 24 25 4 बार आएगा. सबका एडिशन 28 होगा. 26 plus 2 वगैरह वगैरह. So A एक बार आएगा. So Z 2 बार आएगा and Y 3 बार आएगा and ऐसे करके A would come 27 times 1 plus 27. इनका नंबरिंग कर लो तो आसान हो जाएगा. 1 2 3 4 25 26. Okay, and then what do we want to find? We want to find middle terms. Firstly, how many terms are there? वो फाइंड कर सकते हो इनका एडिशन करके. 2 plus 3 plus 27. 1 ऐड कर दो तो क्या हो जाएगा? 1 plus 2 plus up to 27. पर लेकिन तुम अपने से वर्ड ऐड किया था तो वो सबट्रैक्ट करना पड़ेगा. This will be 27 into 28 by 2 minus 1. So this will give you maximum number of terms, right? Just a minute. Yes, this comes out as 377. So we want to find out middle term, which is 189th term. How do we find that? Again, sum should be 189. So we want to find out something between 189 and something. So 2 plus 3 plus ये addition and 2 plus 3 plus ये addition कहाँ तक जाती है? जो 189 उनके बीच में आना चाहिए. So the thing is, answer here is A, H. H पे ही वो खत्म होता है. Exactly last H comes at 189th term. This is actually 19 into 20 by 2 minus 1. So 19th letter from Z to back. तो वो 8th from front हो जाता है, which is H. Now this is something again we have discussed many times in class. P into Q is greater than 0. When it's product of two numbers greater than 0, when both of them are either positive or both of them are negative. And second is P square is greater than Q square. P square is greater than Q square. P square and Q square both are positive numbers. Square is always positive, even for negative and for positive. So even using those two results, we cannot conclude anything, because in negative numbers you can have -4 and let us say -7. So P square greater than Q square, मतलब 49 greater than 16. So true है. And P into Q is greater than 0. Yes, 28 minus into minus plus. But can we decide P is greater than Q? No, because same is true for 4 and 7 and same is true for -4 and -7. So based on these two informations, we cannot conclude anything. अच्छा, XYZ वाला ना? Yes, it was time consuming. So in that respect, you can exclude it, skip it. But otherwise, it was not very difficult question, I would say, but definitely time consuming. It would definitely take 5 minutes of your time. So you can decide according to that. Here the question 56 answer is D. Both are. The question cannot be answered using both the statement together. This question, firstly, let me tell you the answer. Answer here is C. Both the statements are required. So let us look at this. P minus Q is positive, which means P is greater than Q, and P minus R is negative. So R is greater than P. ये relation आ गया हमारे पास using both these statements. Now let us look at P plus Q minus R and P minus Q plus R. We want to decide the relationship. We can cancel P here, Q we can bring there, R we can take there. So we have 2Q and 2R. Q, R, 2 will get cancelled. We know that this is the P plus Q minus R. So this is the relationship. No? Q is less than R. Can we answer this question? Yes, we can answer when both the statements are known. Next question. In a party, 75 people took tea, 60 took coffee, 15 took both. This is simple Venn diagram. And no one taking milk, take tea. And so milk and tea, there is no intersection. And one person takes at least one drink. So these are all the people. This is milk. We know what is here. We know what is here. We know entire thing. So what is this? We know x plus y is known. We know y plus z, milk wala, from statement number 1. And from this thing, we get third equation, that number of people who attended the party is 5 times more. So we have 3 unknowns. From these 2 statements, we will need 2 equations, because from otherwise we only have this equation. 3 unknowns, we need at least 3 equations. So for 3 equations, these 2 statements both are needed. But if you have both, we can definitely solve this. So answer here is C. And this is only possible because this is given. The person takes at least one drink. That is given, that is why this is possible. If अगर वो नहीं दिया होता तो एक और अननोन वो ऐड हो जाता है कि टोटल ना पीने वाले कितने हैं. Next question. Question is, what is the number? Fine. Consider a 3-digit number. X, Y, Z consider कर लिया. We have 3 unknowns. So we need 3 equations. Sum of digits of the number is equal to the product of digits. So this is equation number 1. The number is divisible by sum of the digits of the number. This is equation number 2. Possibly. This is not even complete thing. We need to include another variable. So can we solve 3 variables with only this information? Definitely not. So answer here is D. Next, there are 5 children and the order is given and difference of 2 is given. So how many equations are given? Relations is given, 4 equations are given. All you need is one more equation to find out all the ages. 4 equations are already there. कैसे? D minus E is equal to 2, D minus C, sorry, E minus D है ना? E minus D is equal to 2, D minus C is equal to 2. ऐसे we have 4 equations. B minus A is equal to 2. So we only need one more equation. वो जहां से भी आ जाए चलेगा. Statement 1, age of eldest is 3 times youngest. Allowed. With this we get additional equation. So 5 equations, 5 unknowns, we can solve. This average age of children is 8 years. This also gives us one equation, we can solve. So both statements are independently enough to solve this question. This type of questions we have discussed in detail in our linear equation vara class. How many equations are needed to solve the question? Answer is B. So next question. paradox of choice is illustrated by this story. You know that there is a ass and he wants food and दो जगह पे रखा है, so he cannot decide which food to take, so he dies as a hungry person. So the author has used this example to represent the choices we have in our scientific era. The changes in technology and innovation such as smartphones and tablets only exacerbate our glut of choices. Constant connectivity and overconsumption of data, social media can leave little room for self-reflection and rest, making decisions very difficult. Life is about choices. People are overwhelmed with attractive life choices yet find themselves unhappy and anxious. So अपनी ही situation वो explain कर रहा है that we don't have time, we have lot of choices, we consume lot of data and don't really reflect, and that is why we are unhappy and anxious. Now let us read the options. Message पूछा है, modern technology is enfeeble societal structures and make life difficult. बिल्कुल नहीं, it makes our life very easy. Modern technology हमें पता है, modern life is full of uncertainties and endless difficult choices. Let us look at better options. We are influenced by opinion of others, have no courage to follow convictions. ऐसा तो कुछ बोला नहीं है. All of you are following courage of conviction. All of you have it. That is why you are entering in this lion's cage. In our lives, having too few choices may not be good thing, but having too many choices can be equally difficult. And we are having too many choices and too much information. That is the best reflection and best message. Answer is B. Fine. Next, household finance in India is unique. So India mein, how is household finance that is being described? That we as Indians have tendency to invest more and more in physical assets and golds. Steps to encourage financialization of these savings are critical. Populace accustomed in traditional processes will not simply jump into financialization. Financialization basically financial asset में अपना investment करना rather than physical assets like gold and property. Hurdles to change include onerous bureaucracy. These are the hurdles. Bureaucracy, skepticism of institutions, lack of information about services and which provider is the best for each family, and how we can make this transition if necessary. Now let us read regarding financialization, which of them best reflects the solution that are implied by the passage. Okay, first, flexible environment is needed. Okay, households need to customize solution, definitely. Innovation in financial technology are needed. Fintech के बारे में कुछ बोला है? बिल्कुल नहीं बोला है fintech के बारे में. So वो काट दो तो आंसर simply A आ जाता है. Answer should be A. Passages, all passages you should have attempted. Very easy passages, and most of you would have gotten. No, Aditya, read the statement carefully. In our lives in general, having too few choices may not be a good thing. That is okay. But having too many choices can be equally difficult. That was what author was saying. Having too many choices is difficult. Okay? Answer is D. 62 हो गया. 63. Again, patents पे है. Pharma patents grant protection to patentee for duration. Then they have liberty to determine prices of medicines for limited period, and they can become unaffordable to public. But they are believed to benefit public over longer period of time through R&D, although it comes at a cost in the nature of high prices of patented medicine. Patent regime and price protection, though legally validated, high prices for the medicine during the currency of patent provide the patentee with a legitimate mechanism to get returns incurred in innovation and research. Now the thing is, what is he saying, that patent के time पे whenever patent is activated, the prices of medicines may go high, but overall in long term we have to give that benefit to patentee so that they can recover their cost in R&D. वही बोला है जो हमें already पता है. Which of the following assumptions have been made? Patent protection given to patentee puts huge burden on public. Definitely it puts. ये तो बोला ही गया है. So first is correct. So only two options remain. Dependence on other countries for pharma products is a huge burden for developing. ऐसा कुछ directly बोला तो नहीं गया है. So we'll look at the option number statement number 4 and then decide. governments need to find appropriate balance between rights of potential and requirements. That is definitely there. दोनों की भी बात करी गई ना कि yes, it puts burden, उसकी भी बात करी गई, and secondly it should be given because they need to recover their cost. So balance की बात करी गई. So option number statement 4 is correct. So answer here is B. Now this is about digital economy and personal data. So growth of digital economy should be while keeping personal data secure and protected. No one will innovate in surveillance oriented environment or in a place where personal information is compromised. Basically, author is claiming that if there is no privacy, then people will just not innovate at all. So innovation is contingent upon having that privacy. Ultimate control of data must reside with the individuals who generate it. They should be enabled to use, restrict and monetize it as they wish. Therefore, data protection laws should enable the right kind of innovation, one that is user centric and privacy protecting. Okay, so it is contingent that economy is also dependent on it. Protection of which of the assumptions पूछा है? Something that is implicit. Protection of privacy is not just a right but it has economic value as well. Definitely बोला था कि अगर if privacy is not protected, people will not innovate. तो ये तो बोला गया है. There is a fundamental link between privacy and innovation. Yes, definitely. So answer here is C. Again, permutation combination का question. Okay, Aditya. If you don't agree, just keep it to yourself, or we can discuss it later. Right now, let us finish the paper. Right now, let me finish the paper. You can discuss it later. In the examination, maximum marks for the 4 papers are 100. So there are 400 marks, and student got 99% in n different ways. So 99% का मतलब है 396 marks, right? So he got 396 out of 400. So basically there are 4 papers and he has to lose 4 marks. How many ways are there to do it? There are different papers, na? The paper number 1, 2, 3, 4. So he can lose 4 in one paper and 0 in other. Then 3 in one paper, 1 in some paper, then 0 in 2. Then 2, 2, 0, 0 or 2, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1, 1, 1. These are the options. How many ways are there to do it? We just have to choose one paper. So 4C1. Here we have to choose 2 papers, 4C2, and we can internally rearrange them. Here we just have to choose 2 papers. There is no need for rearrangement. 2 and 2 are same. Here we have to choose 3 papers and then we can rearrange in 3 factorial by 2 factorial ways. And here it is single way. Add kar dena, you will get the answer. Answer, let me tell you. Answer is D. Okay. Not an easy question, so you can leave it. This was an easy question. If it clicks to you, there is a flag. There are 4 stripes, and we have to select it. We have 3 colors, and we just have to ensure that consecutively there should not be same color. So you can have, for this we have 3 options. Then you can have 2 options for this, 2 for 1 is chosen here. So we have 2 options here, 1 is chosen here. वो यहाँ पे नहीं आना चाहिए. So 2 options here. So answer is 3 into 2 into 2 into 2 is 24. Next, दिस वॉज ट्रायल एंड एरर वाला चीज. थोड़ा सा एक काम कर दो, जस्ट ड्रॉ this kind of floor on a paper to the scale and try to fit in. I tried to fit in. I got something like this, and here 2 more. So I got 8. I don't think there is possibility of fitting any more. So for now, according to me, answer should be 8. If some of you are able to fit in 9 tiles, we can have revision of this as 9. But I think 8 should be the answer. Otherwise. Next, there are 5 persons. They have to be assigned tasks. Task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, task 1 or P, neither P and Q can be assigned task 1. So, task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For task 1, P and Q is not allowed. So, how many are allowed? 3 are allowed. For task 2, only 2 are allowed. So, only 2 options are there. Fine. These are the 2 conditions. पहले condition satisfy करवाना होता है हमेशा. So, here there are 3 options. No, firstly, satisfy this, only 2 are there. Now, P and Q are not allowed, and one of R and S will go here. So, here also, only 2 are allowed, and for rest, there is no condition. दो यहाँ पे आ गए, so 3, 2, 1. This should be the answer. 8 into 3, right? This should be the answer. Yes, 68. Answer is D, 24. Here only 2 are allowed. One of them goes there. PQ यहाँ पे आ नहीं सकता, and यहाँ पे एक चला गया. So यहाँ पे भी 2 ही option बचते हैं. बाकी our rest of the out of 3 people, 3 can come here, 2 can come here, 1 can come there. Again, not very difficult question, but this has to click to you inside examination. This question I would categorize as somewhat difficult because of the second statement. Now there are large number of coins of these weights, and we want to buy 78 gram of coins. अब 78 ग्राम ऑफ कॉइन्स चाहिए, तुम्हें कॉइन्स ही चाहिए बस 78 ग्राम के. सो ये 8 जो है ना, उसके लिए हम वी कैन ओनली यूज दिस 2. देयर इज जस्ट नो अदर वे टू गेट 8. सो 2, 2, 2, 2 they have to come. So 4 coins this, and for rest we can use 50, 10 and 10. So this statement is absolutely correct. And for second statement, the statement says to weigh 78 grams. Now we have some object which we want to see if it is of 78 grams or not. Okay. So what we do, to weigh, we'll have 2 parts like weighing machine or something. We put our object here, we put 2 and 5 here, and we put rest of them here, 50 plus 25 plus 10. Right? So 85 here and 7 plus our object which is 78 here. If it balances, the object is of 78 and we weighed it. So here this is also correct. This is what UPSC meant by weighing. So answer here is C. Now this is very easy question. We just have to decode all these things, write about all these things, and you can calculate it. So this means P is greater than equal to Q, P is less than equal to T, P is less than R, and R is equal to S. Based on it, only second conclusion follows. This conclusion, Q and T are equal, that is not true. So answer here is B. This was very easy question you could have attempted. Now, in India, unemployment rate is used to measure poor performance economy, and school enrollment college enrollment is increasing, but it paints inaccurate picture. The reported unemployment is dominated by experience of younger Indians who wait because they are willing to wait for right job than their older peers. The unemployment challenge is greater for people with secondary or higher education, and rising education levels inflate unemployment challenge. तो एजुकेशन लेवल राइज हो रहा है, इसलिए अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. सो बिकॉज स्किल रिक्वायरमेंट इज ऑल्सो इंक्रीजिंग फॉर द जॉब्स एंड एजुकेटेड पीपल आर विलिंग टू वेट. फोकस उन पे किया जाता है, बट मेन प्रॉब्लम किसी और का. इसमें unemployment must be seen as a function of rising education and aspiration of young Indians. That is the answer, option number 2. यही बोला गया पूरे पैसेज में. तो लेबर इंटेंसिव इंडस्ट्री की बात नहीं की गई, क्वालिटी एजुकेशन की बात नहीं करी गई, एंड सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी बात करी नहीं गई है. नेक्स्ट, साइंस बाय इटसेल्फ इज नॉट इनफ, फिलोसॉफी उसके साथ होना चाहिए. लिटिल बिट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लैंग्वेज ऑफ दिस पैसेज, so you might have left it alone. What is needed is coordination between them towards the societal efforts. Philosophy bears the science same relationship which statesman bears to politics. Movement guided by total knowledge and perspective as against aimless individual seeking. Just as to pursue knowledge becomes scholasticism. Scholasticism मतलब scholarly pursuit. When divorced from the actual needs of men and life, the pursuit of politics becomes destructive bedlam when divorced from science and philosophy. So basically, actual needs of men, वो तुम्हें पता रहना चाहिए when you are doing science. You need that. So you just read the statement, D statement. It is desirable that all scientists need to be philosophers as well to make their work useful to the society. I think that should be the answer. नहीं रुको. No. This is wrong. This is all scientists. The passage is not about scientists. Passage is about politician. Here, modern politician, statesman needs to be well trained in scientific method and philosophical thinking to enable them a better perspective of their role, responsibilities, and goals. That is the answer. Answer here is A. Next, the last end of the state is not to dominate men, nor to restrain them by fear. So here there is end of state की बात करेंगे. It is not to restrain them by fear, rather it is to free each man from fear, that he may live, act with full security and without injury to himself or his neighbor. So basically, first half of the statement says that indicates liberty, but later he says that liberty is contingent upon not injuring himself and his neighbors as in society. The end of the state is not, I repeat, to make rational beings into brute beasts and machines. It is to enable their bodies, minds to function safely. It is to lead men to live by and exercise a free reason, that they may not waste their strength in hatred, anger, guile, nor to act unfairly towards another. Basically, what is the end of the state? That is what the passage is talking about. End of the state, here दूसरों को injury नहीं करना है. You have liberty, but that is conditional upon not harming others. Then we don't want to make beasts or machines. We want to enable you, but enable you so that you can have free reason. You should not have hatred, anger, guile, unfairly towards another. The point always of the passage is about another's. It is about harmony. It is about communal harmony. So answer here is C. I know a lot of people have given different answer, but believe me, answer here is C. This is an easy question. You just have to understand the pattern. just have to look at the powers of 2 and what happens when you divide them by 6. 2 raised to 2, if you divide by 6, what is the remainder? 4. 2 raised to 3, 2. 2 raised to 4, again 4. 2 raised to 5, 2. So when 2 का even power है तो remainder is 4, 2 का odd power है तो remainder is 2. ये क्या है? 2 का even power है तो remainder is 4. Answer here is again D. ये वाला पैटर्न वाला आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू कि पैटर्न क्या होता है, या तो 4 में होता है या 5 में होता है या 6 में होता है. यहां पे 5 में हो रहा है हियर, राइट. ये ऐसा पैटर्न रिपीट होता है. यहां पे क्या पैटर्न है हियर? आई थिंक ए बी सी डी डी, ए बी सी सी डी, ए बी बी डी डी एंड ए बी बी डी. तो यहाँ पे 2 बार डी है, यहाँ पे वो दो सी 2 बार है, यहाँ पे बी है, यहाँ पे ए 2 बार है. आंसर हियर इज डी. दैट इज द पैटर्न. Next question. We are multiplying AB into CD and we are getting 3-digit number DEF and we are adding GHI to it to get 975 and E and these two are given. E and F are given. Na? This is given 0, this is given 8. So automatically I becomes 7 and H becomes 6, right? 7. So D plus G, this is 9. तो क्या बचता है? 9 के लिए या तो 3 6 होना चाहिए, या तो 2 7 होना चाहिए, 1 8 होना चाहिए, 4 5 होना चाहिए. इन चारों में से कोई होना चाहिए. 6 3 6 यहाँ पे आ चुका है, 7 आ चुका है, 8 आ चुका है. तो क्या बचता है? D एंड G मस्ट बी 4 एंड 5. सो ABC क्या बचेगा? नॉन जीरो है. ABC आर कंपल्सरीली 1 2 3, एडिशन ऑफ देम 6. दिट इज द आंसर. There are 5 candidates and there are two true statement and 1 false. One of the P and Q was selected for the job. Okay, P, Q, R, S and T. At least one of R and S was selected for the job. R and S at least one. So 1 भी हो सकता है, 2 भी हो सकता है. And इन दोनों में से एक है. At least one, ये false statement है. At least one of them was selected means 1 या फिर 2, वो दोनों भी गलत है. इसका मतलब none of them are selected. So these are not selected people. Here 1 is selected. Last, at most 2 of R, S and T were selected. At most 2. मतलब 0, 1, 2 that is allowed. So 0, 1 or 2. This is true. Now which conclusion can be drawn? At least 4 were selected for the job. That is definitely not true. These 2 are not selected. So these 2 are not selected, so 4 तो हो ही नहीं सकते. So this is not correct. S was selected for the job. No. S was selected for the job. ये तो गलत है. S was not selected for the job. No. So with none of the conclusions can be drawn. Answer is D. Anyway, now let us finish it. These are 5 statements. Again, I have discussed this in the class, but this is difficult to do in the class, in the examination. Of if P is true, then Q and S are true. P implies Q and S. If R and S are true, then T is false. R and S are true, then T is false, मतलब not true is true. अब which of the following can be concluded? If T is true, then at least one of P and R must be false. If T is true मतलब I have already told you that A implies B का मतलब होता है not B implies not A. So not T implies not of R and S. So T true का मतलब है not or this is डी मॉर्गन्स लॉज. ये भी हमने क्लास में किया है. नॉट एस, तो दोनों में से एक सही होगा. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. क्यू इज ट्रू देन पी इज ट्रू. उल्टा नहीं होता है, इसका मतलब एक ही साइड होता है, उल्टा नहीं होता है. दैट इज ऑल्सो समथिंग वी हैव डिस्कस. सो दिस इज नॉट ट्रू. So statement 1 is correct. Answer here is A. I don't expect you to do this inside the examination hall, but you should know how to do it. Then next question, cuboid of dimension जो भी given है, we have done same these kind of question for cube. They have asked for cuboid. Just draw this cuboid. You have 7 into 5 into 3, right? And ये वाला 7-5 वाला रेड है, ये वाला 5-3 वाला ग्रीन है, 5-3 वाला ग्रीन है, एंड दिस इज ब्लू ना. ओके. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज करेक्ट? देयर आर एग्जैक्टली 15 स्मॉल क्यूब्स विथ नो पेंट ऑन एनी सरफेस. नो पेंट के लिए अंदर होना चाहिए, वो दोनों साइड से एक एक अंदर आना है, हर साइड से एक कम होना चाहिए. सो वो कितने का क्यूबॉइड होगा? 5 into 3 into 1. सो 15 आंसर होगा इसका. That is correct. Second, there are exactly 6 small cubes with exactly 2 faces, one painted with blue, another with green. So blue and green मतलब यहाँ पे जो है, and 2 ही painted होना चाहिए. तो ये 1, 2, 3 and वो पीछे 4. So 4 है, 6 नहीं है. This is wrong. Answer here is 1 only. Answer is A. And last, this was quite easy but time consuming. ये जो भी लेटर्स है, दिस इज 21 लेटर वर्ड, इसको अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर में लिखना है. फर्स्टली स्टार्टिंग विद बी, देन उसको रिवर्स ऑर्डर में लिखना है, एंड देन यू हैव टू सी हाउ मेनी लेटर्स मैच. आंसर इज 2 लेटर्स मैच, रेस्ट ऑफ देम डू नॉट मैच. आंसर इज बी. With this we end answer key of this CSAT paper. I'd like to know your thoughts about this year's paper, and I hope most of you, or actually if I have to hope, I'll hope that all of you would qualify CSAT and qualify GS and get through and get rank. In any case, I hope this session was helpful. If you have any comments, doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll end it. I'll upload the solution or answer key on the Telegram channel. If you want to discuss anything, if you want to talk with me, you can drop message in the comment section and we can decide. And or if you are already my student, then you have my number, you can just message me and we can talk. Expected GS cutoff. Yeah, it's actually difficult to predict because see, any answer key of the coaching classes would have discrepancies this year. This year we have a lot of I mean UPSC has asked all those how many options are correct wala types, no? So it is difficult to get everything correct for coaching institutes as well. So every year there are discrepancies, but this year especially it is difficult to predict. But I would still say it would be somewhere between 80 to 85. I don't think it will drop below 80. I think it will hover in that bracket, probably closer to 80. But you can take an average if you want. And yeah, I think that is my guess because I have talked to some students and many of them are getting those kind of marks. 100 plus नहीं आ रहे ज़्यादा लोग को, but I think 80-85 should be a fair guess considering कि seats भी ज़्यादा है इस बार. There are 1100 plus seats, so I think 80 to 85 लगना चाहिए cut off. So if you are someone, I'm talking about open category, accordingly adjust. So if you are getting somewhere in that bracket 80 plus marks, 80 plus minus 5, because there should be question 80 answer is C, 2 है 2. So if you are getting 80 plus, then please start your mains preparation, because you don't want to lose these 15-20 days that you will get right now. Okay. And regarding CSAT, clearly UPSC wants us to study more, study arithmetic and permutation combination in more detail. So next year, if it comes to that, we'll have to prepare accordingly. Excellent, excellent. 99 is an excellent score. You should not wait for results. You should just, okay. According to today, this 75, matlab you will qualify, na? I mean, you are at least above average. So see, worries will always be there. But if you are worried, if you keep worrying, na, you lose your 10-15 days, and that will be problematic. Don't think about it. Assume that you will qualify. And I'm telling you, 75 you will qualify. You have some cushioning. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि सब तुम्हारे अगेंस्ट जाएगा. Some things will go in your favor in comprehension as well. So assume that you will qualify and start preparing. And even those who are not qualifying in CSAT, don't get disheartened. This year it was a difficult paper, and one exam is not going to decide your worth. See, Raj, I mean, it is at the end, it will be a personal choice, but something I will advise is, after giving so many attempts, you should, if you want to continue with this journey, may start preparing for plan B. Now do something, and along with that prepare for UPSC. Now you are already given so much time. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि हर बार fresh start करना है. So you can do it part time as well. So do part time something else, and part time you can keep giving attempt. Yes, that is very good. That is very good. I mean, our 2024 comprehensions out of 27 is very good. Comprehension was easy, and those who decided that instead of maths or LR, we should move to comprehension, they took very wise decision inside examination hall. And I talked about this in the classes, that this is called that is very subjective. That depends on the paper, which part UPSC decides to make simple. If they make LR and quant simple, it is more predictable. If they make passages simple, that is something, that call needs to be taken inside examiner, and I'm happy that many of my students did take that call. Anything else? Should we end this session then? The tips, I mean, the most important underline is, you cannot ignore basics. You cannot ignore arithmetic anymore. You cannot ignore counting. You cannot ignore geometry. You cannot ignore mathematization, linear equations. And we spent a lot of time in our classrooms on those topics. So that is the tip, that don't ignore basics. Don't ignore CSAT. is not to be taken lightly. UPSC is making it really, really difficult this time, and they have really upped their standard. So you need to do that as well. We'll be starting our batch after mains, so you can join our batch. We'll make it according to the newer pattern, make it much more comprehensive, and applied questions would be there, so that you don't find it very, very difficult inside examination hall. Even in this batch, I had taught everything, and raw material was there. Maybe questions were students needed to apply those concepts in examination hall, but this time we'll do more practice. We'll go into more detail. Other than that, just keep doing it. No special shortcuts are not there. Shortcuts are not going to work. That is what UPSC has told you with this prelim. Elimination techniques, formula cheat sheets, that era is gone. The era of hard mathematics and comprehension abilities is here. Okay then, goodbye guys. Session end करना. End कर. Okay, goodbye, good day.